Hello everyone, and welcome to the first episode of a new series I'm starting on my channel called Weekly Weekend Walkthroughs. Every Saturday I'm going to be reconstructing a pretty fast or interesting solve that I got during the week, and I hope that we can all learn something from it. This week I got a 7.80, not an incredibly fast time, but it was a pretty cool solution that I'm happy with. So let's take a look. The thing that jumped out to me on this scramble was the yellow cross, obviously, because of this pair here, this edge and corner that are already matched, as well as this edge that I could use to make an X cross with. What I noticed is that by sledgehammering in this yellow-orange edge like this, I can make this 2x2x1 square here, and also insert this edge into the right place. Then all I need to do is swap out this edge for this position with R, D prime, R prime, which doesn't affect the positioning of this edge here. And then what I could do is D2 to finish the X cross, but since I knew that this square would end up in the back left, I decided to do a wide U2 in order to have my solved X cross in the back left rather than in the front, because it's more useful to have the unsolved pieces to me in the front rather than in the back where it's hard to see them. Now, I hesitated a bit here, but I eventually realized that I had a nice free pair with green and red. And since it was in the front, in this orientation, I decided to do an inverse sledgehammer, or a hedge slammer, to insert it, like that. This also set up a really nice case in the back, where I had another free pair. Yes, this was a pretty lucky solve, but the X-cross really set me up for that solution. So, unfortunately, in this scenario, I didn't really see it because it was in the back. Solving diagonal pairs is not the best, but since I had the free pair, I didn't want to avoid it. What I did here is I rotated clockwise and took this pair out and then reinserted it. So I had two rotations, and I'll show you how I could have done that better at the end of the video. Lastly, for the fourth pair, I rotated and did this standard insertion. At this point, I just had a soon, which I did from the back, and a good R-perm. I locked up a bit on the R-perm, which was a bit unfortunate. Normally I'm pretty good with that algorithm, but not this time. Honestly, looking back on this solve, I think there's only one thing I really would have changed. I'm really happy with my X-cross solution. Inserting this edge to get this edge into the right place and building this square was a really good idea, I think. I'm very proud of how it turned out. Something I could have looked ahead to is this pair here, because the pieces both stay in the front after my cross. So if I had done a D2 instead of the wide U2, I could have easily gone into this, but then I wouldn't have seen this free pair in the back. In the grand scheme of things, I think it was better to do the wide U2 and have the X cross solved in the back left. Beyond that, my second pair was good, but the third pair was the one that I definitely could have improved. Instead of rotating, taking the pair out, rotating back, and putting it back in, what I could have done is stayed in this orientation and done this algorithm to solve this pair. R prime U, R prime F, R, F prime, R. And that's the exact same solution. It does the exact same thing as the solution I did, but it doesn't have any rotations. Once again, since it's the exact same effect on the cube, the rest of the solve is literally identical. It basically would have provided me the same pretty good solution, but cutting down on 2 rotations. That would have been a really big time save if I had recognized it. Either way, that's all I have for this analysis and critique of my 7.8 that I got this week, and I'll see you all next Saturday for the next WWW episode. Thanks for watching.